What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we have He Thought He Had Friends, They Were Paid Actors. Now, this is going to be a banger video. Just imagine, put yourself in this scenario where you think that your best friend really cares about you, but then you find out that they were getting paid money to support you and talk to you and be your friend. Can't imagine what that would be like, but we're gonna kind of go into it, kind of see what it feels like for this guy. So today's gonna be a banger. Don't forget to like, don't forget to sub. If you guys like stuff like this, let me know down below. How would you feel if you had friends, found out that they were getting paid to be your friend? How would you feel? Let me know down in the comments, and yeah, let's get into it. Let's go.
What? Matt? What is going on?
This is Matt. He just found out that all these friends he'd gotten close to over the last couple of weeks were actually paid actors who were part of an elaborate reality TV hoax. It sounds like a pretty mean prank, because it was, but my boy Matt ended up getting the last laugh. This image actually became kind of a meme several years ago, but not everyone knows the full story behind it.
What would you do if your entire world turned out to be fake? If an army of writers, producers,
Just
and
imagine
actors...
though. Imagine you tell them like super secret info, bro. You told them some shit that you've never told anybody, and then you find out that they're getting paid to be your friend, bro. Hell nah. Imagine, bro. I couldn't. I would feel so betrayed. I would never even want to have friends after that, bro.
Spent over a year creating TV's most elaborate experiment around you. If they plotted your every move, recorded it 24 hours a day, and put it on national television. Well, that's exactly what happened to this guy.
This is the Joe Schmo Show, which aired in 2003 on Spike TV, a network that was previously known as TNN, and then they later changed it to just Spike, and now it's called the Paramount Network. But at the time, it was Spike TV, the first network for men. That was their actual slogan during that time. So
that was Spike TV had like UFC and all that on it, didn't it? I think, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it had all UFC on it. And now it's kind of funny that UFC is going back to that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was though. When I was younger, I was young, like elementary school young.
You can imagine what kind of content would be on a channel geared towards young men in 2003. Does anybody remember Stripperella? Probably not. Most of the Spike TV content that wasn't reruns of Star Trek
remember
was
UFC.
pretty forgettable. But I will always remember the Joe Schmo Show, and here's why. Lap of Luxury is your basic Big Brother style show where everyone lives together in a big house and they compete in challenges, and people get voted out one by one until just one person remains and they win the grand prize, which in this case was $100,000. But the twist is that all of the other contestants were actually actors.
Dude, that is, think about it, that is a crazy amount of money back in the early 2000s. 100 grand is like $1 million today. That is a life-changing money.
Of what they did was carefully scripted, all of this being unknown to Matt.
Today, Molly is going to confide in Matt.
Are Ralph and I still flirting with each other when he comes in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got Truman Showed.
Bro.
It's funny going back to watch the
You know what they should have done? From what it just looked like there, it looked like the viewers knew about it. Why would you tell the viewers, bro? That would be one of the biggest plot twists ever. That would be so fire. So fire. Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you tell the people? That makes no sense.
Show now, because a couple of those actors went on to more prominent roles. The most notable example being Kristen Wiig, who played this character Dr. Pat, and of course later went on to become a top 5 all-time SNL cast member.
I'm just so freaking excited!
It's just strange to remember that there was a point where Kristen Wiig was so unknown that she could be on a show like this. It's called the Joe Schmo Show because the point was to find the most simple, unsuspecting, average dude possible, a regular Joe Schmo, and throw him into a house with 9 crazy people and see how much they can fuck with him. It kind of sounds like some dystopian psychological experiment. It's totally not the type of thing I would normally be into. It's just kind of cynical and mean-spirited. They call the guy Joe Schmo, for God's sake. But let's talk about the Schmo. His name's Matt,
but
like I said, and he's
back
a law
in the
school
days,
drop.
that was definitely not an insult, because like the American dream is white picket fence, gotta live with a wife and the kids, and wife stays home and you go and work your factory job, and it was just so average. Shit, just boring.
About who lives with his parents and delivers pizza for a living. The exact kind of homegrown white bread schmuck they were looking for. Matt is confident and outgoing, but also pretty goofy, little awkward. He's one of those guys with no filter, just kind of says the first thing that comes to his head, which leads to a lot of foot in mouth moments.
Skip, you're gay, huh?
Can I see this?
Huh?
Yeah. He looked at me like, yeah, I'm gay, so what? You know what I mean? Which, he's right. Why would I have said that?
But here's the thing. He's also really kind and friendly. He's polite.
Ollie, I guess you like to pray before you eat?
The moment of silence was my suggestion.
Bro.
I don't pray, but I knew that
That
you
is
did.
so
We all have a
fucked
lot
up.
to be thankful for it.
Helpful.
Trust me, nobody wants this to go faster than I do. Nobody warned me about this.
Really? It's cute.
I feel like a fucking clown.
I see your point.
This is my first
Yeah, I see
big
your
exposure
I definitely
television
see your
gig.
point about it. And I don't think it'll have detrimental effects upon your career, really.
And respectful.
Thank you.
Bro.
Matt just turned his back. Out of respect.
Oh my god. Dude, imagine though. What would you even begin to feel like if you find out that, like, this guy that you're pretty much just, like, totally over, pretending that you're their friend, and then, like, bro, I would feel like a piece of shit. I would feel so bad. So bad. Find out that he's actually, like, a cool dude. One of the nicest people that I've met, and I'm just f***ing him over for money. Nah.
For, you know, this relationship, he turned his back so we could talk to each other.
And the first person to speak up when someone is being bullied or treated unfairly.
What?
Dude, if you don't let go,
Come
I'm gonna throw you in the freaking pool every opportunity I get.
Don't even say that.
You are not throwing him in the pool. I will whoop your ass if you throw him in the pool.
You kind of immediately like the guy.
Hey, dude, I wanted to say, when I said you're gay before, don't get pissed.
I think Matt definitely felt bad. I mean, you can tell Matt was just really sincere when he said it.
I'm an ally, just so you know that, for real.
I mean, that's pretty woke
An
for
ally.
a straight white guy in 2003.
I'm an
And although
ally.
it's clear that
That
Matt
sounds
understands
bad.
that he's in a competition, or at least he thinks he is, you really get the sense that he's just happy to have this experience and to meet all these interesting people, some of whom he really comes to like and respect, like Earl, for example, the grizzled veteran who opens up to him and becomes somewhat of a father figure.
Really glad that we met, and can honestly say that I'm better off for having known you.
Oh my god, bro. Like,
So of
nah.
course this makes it even more upsetting that it's all fake and they're going through all the trouble just to stress this really nice guy out on national television. In the first few episodes,
It's
the whole point of
humiliating,
the
bro.
show is just to put Matt in humiliating situations and screw with his emotions. They constantly
bro,
do
like,
these little cutaways
what?
where the actors or the crew smugly
That is
discusses
so
the they
up.
created, or how hilarious it is that Matt is falling for their little prank.
Can you give it some rhythm?
I really wanted him to make noise, like make a sound. I don't know, I just thought it'd be funny. I'm sorry, Matt.
At 2, Kristen. There's this one scene where Matt is genuinely upset with another housemate named Hutch, who is being an asshole because he's the asshole. It's literally the script. And they show a split screen revealing the rest of the cast and crew just laughing at Matt while he's going through this emotional moment.
like-
It's really off-putting to me, but
Nah,
I guess that's
bro.
the show. So, like I said, Matt is not just some goofball. He
Does
actually
this still
tries to
active?
play
Like,
the
does
game.
this
He
still go on?
strategizes, he forms alliances. He's getting closer with his housemates, but he's definitely there to try and win the cash. But of course, this entire show is scripted, so none of his strategy really matters. Like, there's this girl, Ashley, who was really nice to Matt at first, but
Okay.
then kind of did a heel
Put it into perspective that you get to go on live television, you get to walk away with $100,000 guaranteed, but you get humiliated on live television. Everybody sees it. are you doing it? I would argue that I would do it for free. Just because you get to break out of that shell, you get to be yourself, be humiliated so that it helps you grow as a person. Would you take $100,000 to get humiliated on live television?
Turn into being very conniving and cold to him. And of course, good guy Matt doesn't like that, so he tries to rally support towards getting her voted off of the show. But the producers throw Matt a sadistic curveball.
The deciding vote in tonight's eviction ceremony. Earl. Earl, with 4 votes, you've been cut off.
Is it the old
from
guy?
Luxury.
It was kind of out of nowhere and didn't really make sense in the story because everyone appeared to like Earl. It was done purely to fuck with Matt, who had become very close with Earl, or at least he thought he was getting close to Earl. But the creators of this show couldn't predict just how much this elimination would affect Matt.
You're each one step closer to $100,000.
Dude, that is so messed
Think
up,
about the events
bro.
that led up to this
He's
point.
crying and you're still
Learn
going
from
through with it, bro. What?
And get some rest. It's been a hard night, and it's going to be a big day tomorrow.
What?
Seeing how sad Earl's eviction made Matt caused almost all of the actors to halfway break character and try to take care of him or cry alongside of him.
Yeah, I know, me. I was sad too.
I was sad for real.
It's just not worth any amount of money.
Nah, bro.
And no one watching will understand until you're in the position. You have no idea.
But here's the thing. I think audiences did understand. There's a reason that
it's
every
up,
reality
yeah.
TV seems to be a vapid sociopath because they're carefully selected based on certain qualities that make for exciting television. Matt was selected to be the exact opposite of that. He's the schmo. That was the whole joke. And I think what the producers didn't realize before this point is that because Matt was such a relatable, admirable guy, and also because this whole setup is pretty fucking cruel in general,
Yeah,
the audience
bro.
would begin to root for him. I know I did. Matt wasn't the schmo anymore. He was the hero, and the producers and the actors became the antagonists. The best moments in the show are not when the producers are laughing about how well their prank is going. My favorites are the times when Matt surprises the producers or does something that inadvertently ruins their cynical plan. Like there was this one competition where Matt had to put his hand on a porn star's breast, and if he removed it, he lost the game. Again, it was Spike TV in 2003. Almost all of the competitions involved breasts. That probably sounds like an exaggeration, but you'd be surprised. Anyway, the producers basically were like, of course, Matt is a horny caveman. There's no way he's ever gonna let go of that breast. But Matt strategically loses the game on purpose. It's complicated, but basically if he lost the game, he knew he would get his own room, which he really wanted. You have to watch the show to get the context. And since the script said that Matt was meant to win that challenge, they had to scramble to update their plans for that episode. Or this sumo competition they had, which was also designed for Matt to win, but after he accidentally injures Dr. Pat, he unexpectedly chooses to give her the prize he won. It's good guy Matt. So when they literally break his spirit to the extent that he's full on bawling on national television, even they have to ask themselves,
are we the baddies? The actors were sort of second guessing like the whole process.
Dude, that is so
the whole
messed
thing.
up.
We were devastated to, hurt him in any way, and we didn't want that to happen.
And ultimately, this would lead to a complete change in tone halfway through the show. Now, instead of putting Matt in awkward or embarrassing situations just for laughs, most of the story was now designed to make Matt look good. They put him in competitions that he was likely to be good at to make it easier for him to win. Like there was a game where they had to do a cannonball into the pool to splash enough water onto a woman's t-shirt so you could see through it. Look, I told you. And Matt was the biggest guy there.
Horn
dogs in his favor. And like Matt spent some time in law school, so they did a debate competition, which is very subtle. They put him in situations where he had to make a moral choice, but it was extremely obvious what the correct choice was.
Both Ashley and Hutch want me to vote Brian off. you know, I know what I have to do.
Like, are you gonna betray the closest friend you've made in the house, or go along with these two people who have been assholes to you the whole show? But Matt still ends up looking virtuous for making the honorable choice. Even the tone of the behind the scenes commentary shifted dramatically.
First day, real. We're gonna get him hook, line, and sinker, and we can afford to get outrageous later.
Just let's absolutely just keep it going. This guy
Bro,
is gonna have the night of his life.
Matt was truly now the hero of the Joe Schmo Show.
So
The
pretty
last
much
big
just turn
prank of
around
the
and they
show
look dumb
was
as
to
hell.
Make Hutch the undeserving asshole, the ultimate winner of Lap of Luxury, which is pretty funny because he was kind of a cartoon villain on the show, so that would be a super unsatisfying conclusion. But shortly after, they finally revealed the true nature of the show to Matt, which I'll talk about right after I tell you about Curiosity.
Come on, guys, raise your hand if you're an actor as well. Please, I mean, come on. Let's be honest about this.
What?
Bro, like,
Matt?
What is going on? What is going on?
how long were they here for? Were they here for like a week, a month, a few months? Like, how long were they here for? Bro, it's not giving me anything on how long they stay there for, but it's still active. What? That's crazy. I wonder how long they stay there for.
Thing on this reality show is you.
Oh my god!
Bro, like,
So as I mentioned, the prize for this fake reality show was $100,000. And they don't mention throughout the show whether they plan to give Matt that money. I mean, you kind of assume they're going to. That would be so if they didn't, and they do. I think they figured that even though this whole thing is a bit deranged, it was okay because they're gonna give him a bunch of money at the end. But because of how the show changed, it wasn't like, hey, sorry for traumatizing you, here's 100 stacks. It ended up being a celebration of Matt and how solid a dude he is.
He's the sweetest thing. I mean, he is the sweetest thing.
Matt, I love you. You're an amazing person.
still f***ed up.
You've surprised everyone on this project
It's still
with
fucked
how
up.
big your heart is.
Matt's he's a genuine guy.
He's top 5 of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. I mean, he's just a great guy.
The power of boredom.
Yeah, and that shit was all fake.
It's all for you, man. It's all for you.
Thank you so much.
Like, they could have pulled any awkward goober off of the street and gave him 100 grand, but they got my boy Matt. And you like when good things happen to good people. But the real reason I love this story is because it's a story of pure human goodness overcoming cynicism. They literally had to rearrange their whole show because of one man's.
You
They were
guys.
forced to abandon
The good
their
guy
sadistic
wins after
premise
all.
of just with a guy for kicks and turn the show into basically a surprise party in his honor.
Hell yeah.
There were 2 more seasons of the Joe Schmo Show, but you can tell they were trying to intentionally capture the magic that Matt unexpectedly brought to the first season. And it's not really organic, so it doesn't really hit the same way. It's so easy to get sucked up into negativity. I just thought it was cool to see an example of human decency finally winning the day. That's just me though. What do you think?
W's. That was a good video, chat. W Matt in the comments. W Matt in the chat. Very good video. Alright, next.